You're tuned in to Community Conversations with the Trio, providing heavy doses of edutainment in the areas of health, education, politics, and business since 2011. You can always find us on the web at cctrio.com or get connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, and iTunes by searching The CC Trio. And now, your hosts, the Trio, Dr. G, Sean D, and main man Michael Dove, on Community Conversations with the Trio.
Thanks for tuning in to Community Conversations with the Trio, Dr. G, Sean D, and my main man, Michael Dove. What's up, fellas?
Good afternoon, good morning, afternoon.
Good morning. I know when you're doing a PhD, you don't know what time it is.
Depends on when you're listening.
I'm catching everybody. I'm catching everybody.
Oh, man. I don't know where our listeners are listening from, but we have to tell them we are in Tampa, Florida, and you would be absolutely jealous of the weather that we have going on today.
It's wonderful.
It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And it is Labor Day weekend, so I'm assuming that folks have wonderful plans for the weekend. I hope that there is some golf.
Isn't it Memorial Day weekend?
Oh, what did I say?
Labor Day. Hey, I don't need to get any older any faster.
The thing is, I didn't even realize the difference. That's how far of it. Yeah, that's how far of it I am.
Oh my goodness! So, any big plans for Memorial Day, guys?
No,
I guess not.
I'm going to see Star Trek.
You saw it?
No, I'm going to see it.
Going to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'll be in class while you're watching Star Trek. I'll be in class.
I'll be tweeting you. Tell me how it is.
I appreciate that.
You try to put your phone on mute.
Yeah. So
is it
class 8 to 5.
So has it gotten good reviews so far?
I've not. I don't look at the reviews. I'm a Trekkie, so it wouldn't really matter.
So you don't
care. Because it lets you. It's kind of hard to make a bad Star Trek movie, even though they have made one or two. And J.J. Abrams, man, if you saw the first one he did, it's going to be too hard.
First, it was good. Yeah, the one, the last one that was
a reboot.
That was really good right there.
Incredible. So they've been doing a pretty good job. I've been kind of disappointed in the lack of creativity. Everybody's remaking, old TV shows, old movies. But some of these reboots, the new Batman series is real good. Mm-hmm. The new Superman looks like it might be good. The new Star Trek is definitely good. So you got a new Star Wars coming. So I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think Abrams doing that one too, right?
Yeah, man.
Doing the new Star Wars.
That's why he can't do, I think, the next Star Trek, I believe, because he's going to do Star Wars.
Now, what about the Iron Man? Have you seen that one?
I did see that.
What do you think?
That too, yeah.
It was all right. They kind of played to the comedy a little bit too much to me. It was like more, kind of a goofy movie than being a superhero movie, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I wasn't dissatisfied.
I liked it. I mean,
I wasn't dissatisfied.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It definitely was different. But like I said, there was additional comedy, but it's Robert Downey Jr., RDJ, as he's often referred to these days. RDJ, he was, it was an interesting, his character with that comedy, and but still has the impact is about the effects and the suits, plural on suits. Was an interesting take, but they already you can see them continually setting up for the next movies, and they're franchising it very well. So from the business marketing perspective, they're doing a hell of a job. So kudos to the marketing department because they got it going on.
Marvel should be rich. I heard somewhere that Stan Lee,
Disney gonna be rich.
Well, Disney, Marvel. I mean, Disney owns them now.
But which is why we have stock in Disney.
Yeah, but I remember they were saying that at a certain time, Stan Lee, the creator of all this, was like broke. He's like, go to comic book adventures, and you have to pay to get sign something, and that's how he kind of made a little bit of a living. Mm-hmm. And now look at him.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing this Memorial Day. Write it down. Memorial Day.
Do not forget to thank your troops and thank the service people who are defending our country. And that's what Memorial Day is all about. So we just got to remember that and celebrate. I will be barbecuing tomorrow because You think any reason to have food, is always.
That's how you do
I don't care if it's Labor Day, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. You can be one in on those.
Wow.
Well, my wife and my daughter they're in Atlanta today attending a graduation, so it's me and the boy this weekend.
Oh man!
So we have a boys' weekend, so that's going to be very very interesting. We're going to stay up late, watch movies. We're going to get some
paint
pizza,
your toenails.
Paint our toenails.
Yeah, there you go. Gossip. Have like a little sleepover.
Pajama party.
You're gonna watch the game, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Watch the game.
He's a big basketball player.
Yep, indeed. So I'm looking forward to it actually. And we're supposed to go to the movie. That's why I was asking about Iron Man.
Yeah, it was good. It's definitely because we took the kids, so it was enjoyable.
Yeah. So, but I'm hoping to also get some golf in this weekend. I'm hoping
the weather is looking,
something.
because it's been rainy, so the weather's looking like it's coming out.
Yeah.
At least Sunday. If you're doing it Sunday, let me know.
All right.
If you're doing Sunday, let me know.
Yeah, I might even be able to come out on Sunday.
No,
I got a new little thing called the Swing Bite. I put it on the club, and as I'm swinging,
Swing what?
Bite. BYTE.
Oh, swing.
And
Bite.
it captured it on on my phone and shows my swing and open and close.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to, really trying to.
Yeah, wow. See, because we're going to New Orleans in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get ready. I got my little GPS, golf thing I need to test out.
So I do need to get one of those.
Yeah, because I think they absolutely need more diversity in golf. Because obviously we still have a problem with golf diversity. It seems because boy.
So yeah,
well,
as you reference that, yeah.
Speaking of golf, I hate to start off with this story, particularly when we have so many other things going on, which we will talk about, particularly the Oklahoma storm. There's a lot of things going on, but we have to start with the story. We are all golfers.
Yeah.
The whole Sergio Garcia issue with Tiger, and I guess he was at a press conference somewhere.
Yeah, some awards dinner, I believe. It was awards dinner.
One of the reporters asked him a question about him inviting Tiger to dinner or something during the U.S. Open. I don't remember.
No, this is a European. He was at a European tour.
But when he comes to U.S. Open, he asks are you going to invite Tiger to dinner every evening while I guess he's over here at the Open.
And he crossed the line and made the reference to fried chicken for dinner every night. So you just scratch your head when they catch themselves doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think he said out of he didn't know the context. I think I know he knew what fried chicken and what happened with was it Fuzzy that said
Fuzzy Zeller.
They were going to have it for their Augustus dinner. So I knew he picked it up from that, but because if you really think about it. I think in a kind of because European humor is different than our humor. European humor is a little bit, hard nosed. What's the guy who just did the Oscars or not the Oscars?
I know
the comedian, and they were like, "Ooh, Gervaisius or whatever." Because he's like, "Hey, y'all understand? Y'all guys are Americans. We're British. Our comedy is a little hardcore." And from that perspective, I almost kind of. You almost just had to kind of chuckle. He just bringing that up just to kind of poke Tiger. Now, of course, over here, oh gosh, racist and all that. I'm going to be a little devil's advocate and go, something popped in his head, the chicken, and that's he's already angry. He's always got some issues, not really living up to his expectations. And I think he really just meant to poke. I really don't think he was trying to be racist. He was just repeating a racist comment to try to be funny about all the things that are going around about Tiger. He said to me what he said before was worse. Remember he said that's the first time he told the truth or something. The first comment he said something about Tiger being ingenuous. That hey, this is the first time he told the truth in years. Mm-hmm. To me, that was when everyone should get all up in arms.
Well, he's not lying.
Well,
some would say he's not lying.
But Tiger never said he wasn't having affairs. No one ever asked him. Right. He didn't lie. So to me, that's when you need to get all in arms about not fried chicken. I like fried chicken.
Well, that's because that's the other comment that folks talk about that I've continually heard in conversations of. Well, if it's true in the statement, is it really racist in the sense of, all right, do you eat fried chicken? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. Do I eat watermelon? Yes, I do. So does it necessarily mean that because we like those things, should we as black people in general be really up in arms about it? And then the other side of the conversation is, well, the contextual meaning of what
There
it
you go.
means
Right.
to
The meaning
use that
behind
in
the word.
reference.
That's right.
So it's not about liking it. You can still like it and so on and so forth. I mean, I went so far as that when I was out in places in public that I wouldn't eat if there was chicken on the menu, I would not eat chicken.
Really?
Yeah. I've gone that far
Because you wanted to
do that.
dispel the stereotype.
Right. Just
So you
not,
wanted the snails and the
escargot, whatever else.
Chilean sea bass.
You get the steak
when that
or
fried
whatever.
chicken is looking so good.
You know, they got
The
chicken
salmon.
Yeah. So.
Or some of my family members say the salmon.
And I'm
But
sure
we just go in the other, so the other idea is to not be a part of it.
And I'm sure in those in those settings when he didn't want to order the fried, he was just shaking, wanting the fried chicken. He was like,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I do love some good fried chicken, though.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So that's.
I've been there, I've been
So
there.
you deny yourself of those pleasures that are there.
Stereotypes are always based in some fact.
Right.
He just, everyone knows Sergio's,
But the context of what
he
it
has some
is.
issues, and that guy even asking the question. One of the comments I also heard was that the media didn't hold itself accountable. In other words, heard other media people say, "Well, why did he even poke him like that? Why leave him alone by Tiger?"
'Cause it's
ask
good
him about
media.
something.
It's good media.
So most of them defended it. Well, hey, he just asked a question. He could have responded, any number of different ways. I'm like, yeah, but now you're just keeping up stuff just to keep up stuff.
But the way to stop that stuff from continuing to happen is for Sergio and Tiger to just be quiet.
Yeah.
I have no comment. If you keep saying that, the media has nothing to go on.
Right.
Now they have a big story. The guy who posed the question, I'm sure he's getting interviews and it's stirring up controversy. Hey, community conversations. We were talking about
Yeah,
it.
that's true. That's true.
So,
I guess you're right, but it is what it is. But
It is what it is.
It's golf needed probably a little push. Tiger's number one again, but he's not like winning majors. You don't have the feel kind of up there now. You even have the other young guy. He's playing okay, but not great. So they needed some infusion of excitement. NFLs is everywhere, and in basketball playoffs, baseball started, hockey playoffs. Golf just wanted to get in there a little bit, get a little time.
But I have to go before we go on to the next story. The last tournament, Sergio knocked those balls in the water. I just couldn't feel sorry for him. And my thing was that he brought himself bad karma by just stirring up. Why not just be quiet and play golf?
Yeah, why'd he do the 10 cup? He hit the ball with the same club. It's like, dude, you're not going to make it.
But they've said that on that particular hole, he's always picked that club. He's always gone for the pin, and he's always been successful.
Yes, that was the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't know
So
that.
this wasn't anything unusual for him.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but he probably his mind was
The
going
pressure
on
of the moment.
Yeah.
The pressure of the moment.
I see. Obviously, my golf game is, I'm a novice at best, but I've seen why I have these good things of hitting some good shots, and I'll hit just one bad shot, and no matter how much I try to get my mind, hey, let's keep going. I've been hitting well with this, whatever. Like my favorite club is my 8. I just never miss. In practice, in any golf, I can hit. Now, of course, I only hit 100, so it's not really good for a par 5. But I pretty much probably can play golf all day with an 8 and be great. But I'll pick up another club, and next thing you know, now my game's all. Now I can't, and I struggle for 3-4 more holes. So I think the same thing probably happened to him. He got unraveled, and he never got it back. But hopefully he's learned the lesson. He's older now. He's been in the game for a while, so he's got to stop making these kind of mistakes and just try to win some tournaments.
Yeah. So, Sean D, if folks want to learn a little bit more about Community Conversations and the trio, where can they go? Or if they want to hit us up later with some questions, comments, where can they go?
You can catch us everywhere. We're, of course, the website, cctrio.com, and then anywhere on Facebook, Twitter, iTunes, by searching the CC Trio is a place to check us out there. If you want to email Dr. G, Dr. G at cctrio.com, just him directly. Main man at cctrio.com. So we're everywhere. And again, a lot of the stories we're talking about, you can see them up on our Facebook page as well.
Send us stories.
And send us stories. It's a great point of what's happening in your area that you want us to jump all over.
Particularly if it's crazy. If you have crazy stories, we love to talk about those stories that are just out of you just can't make this stuff up. And over the past couple of years when we've been doing this show, Sean D has comb the internet finding all these strange and crazy stories. You can go to our website, and I think they can probably listen to some of our past shows and pick up some of those That's Just Crazy segments. And then our main man, Michael Dove, does a segment called What's
and
on
we'll have
Your
a new
Mind.
one for this week related to just preparing for the season that all Floridians know very well. It's hurricane season.
Yep. Speaking of which, the folks in Oklahoma, certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to those folks, and just looking at the pictures, man.
Devastation.
Listen to the stories.
I said the same thing when I believe when it was Hurricane Sandy. That was a little different because even though they have terrible storms up there, they're not really used to hurricanes. I understand that. I think my comment back then was, you shouldn't die in a hurricane. Not on land at least, because number one killing hurricanes is water, and hurricanes normally you have 5 days notice. 5 days, normal. That's just basic. 5 days. If you can't get out of the way in 5 days, you did something improper. You can't say it was a terrible tragic accident. You had 5 days.
Sounds like we've had this conversation before, right?
But then I looked at Oklahoma, and the first thing, one of the senators not only from Oklahoma, but he was raised in the city that was hit right outside Oklahoma City. That's where he's from. His mother's the mayor. Okay, he's a senator. His mother's mayor. The first thing he said is, "You come back here in a year, and this will, this all be rebuilt. We're gonna rebuild it. It'll be, better than ever." And I thought, wait a minute. This is called Tornado Alley, and the first thing you wrote is about rebuilding everything. Like remember the school that was destroyed? They were saying the older school didn't have a basement. It wasn't required to have a basement because the new schools are, because obviously they figured out the old top is going to be gone. And I just think, as human beings, I'm sure sociologists or psychologists could tell us, why do we do that? Why are you going to go build a new wooden house right where the old one just blew away? Like you proving a point. Like, damn you, nature, I'm going to win. Because no, you're not. No, you're not. I mean, there should be some codes there that you can't even, I don't even know why they let wood, why are you even building wood structures in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas, parts of Arkansas? I mean, we know the tornadoes happen. We know when they happen. We have people called tornado chasers. They chase them around now. So it's not like we know a lot more information. I just, when he said that, I cringed. I go, what are you going to rebuild? How are you going to rebuild it? Are you going to rebuild it so it can get torn out again? And they do that. We do that so much. We're not going anywhere. Remember Montserrat, the volcano? There's an island that's basically just a volcano. It's a volcano with a little sand around it, and the people live on the volcano. Right. Volcano erupted. People went all the way to the farthest part of the island. I forgot how many square miles it was, but it was barely nothing. It erupted, destroyed everything. People actually tried to go back and back up to the volcano. Of course, it erupted again and killed them. And then, you see the people on the far end of the island. On the far end of the island. I remember, I think one of the famous singers had a little, that's where he used to go vacation. I can't think of his name right now. Blues guitar. So nevertheless, I mean, they had to airlift these people. I'm like, no, you got to leave. There's no going back. This thing could blow up. And I'm mistaken, humans, what? I mean, I live on a volcano. Right, God. And when it erupts, I probably should leave. Now, of course, y'all both been Hawaii, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just living on volcanoes is not a bad thing, according to you guys. It's great.
Well, I visited. I didn't stay there, but they actually not right before, but a little bit before I went, they had the it was a earthquake out at sea that was worried about the tsunami aspect. So but again, you're on an island and everybody isn't getting out quickly from an island.
Right?
It does get
not
hit.
At all.
So So I mean, there's tragedies, and I think that's but one of the things is no matter where you live in this world right now, there's always the threat of some natural
nature,
disaster, but it seems like it's just more it's more intense now.
Yeah.
As over the years, it's more back to back.
Is it more because we have more information and insights now? We got Twitter.
I mean, I think it's just
people.
Does it seem like it's just happening more? I think it's just
it does to me too. In my lifetime, I'm thinking, man,
there's a couple of earthquakes that just happened. The other
fires in no, where were the fires at?
Global warming.
Yeah, we just had the fires.
That's where it's leading.
Yeah, we just had the fires somewhere, and engulfing peoples, and then in between the natural disasters, then you have the human, right? You have the Boston, and now you have some gentleman murdered in England.
Oh yeah,
so chopped up the soldiers.
Yeah, and I'm like, so you can't. It's like you can't get a break. It seems like there's something happening one after another. Then it would, like say, what's on my mind is going to be talking about. Okay, hurricane season's coming. Are you prepared?
And are they saying it's going to be more active this year? They're predicting.
Yeah.
Because it's global warming.
There's something going on.
Yeah.
So if you're in the global warming business, you might be able to be making some money shortly here.
Yeah, but the green business ain't doing as well as I thought it would be. With Obama, solar panel makers and all that stuff, they still losing money. Even though you got the
I think it just hasn't caught on yet. It's still expensive. Some of those things are still expensive to.
But I would think we'd have solar panels everywhere. We'd want to get off this oil. Not because of nature, just because we have other things that we do homegrown, and some of the countries that have this oil, obviously are problematic.
Now, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. However,
here we go. Here we go.
I think there's a reason why some of these items are not as popular yet. You know what I mean? There's some folks I think who are in high-powered positions. Again, changing folks' money. And we talk about this before, from the business perspective. When you begin to change the way how people make their money and impact their way of making money, and they've invested a lot of money in this method,
and all that,
right? Then they begin to, if they're in those power positions, why wouldn't they take advantage of?
I agree.
Let's squash this project over here because we haven't found a way to make money on it, or it will hinder us from making money. I mean, that's the whole car aspect, right? The cars really didn't get big until folks figured out how to really make money on it, and then it started getting large.
And it shows gas going up. Then it gets small.
Then they're talking about gas going right back up again. It's already gone up in the last couple of days.
I heard the same thing about CDs. They said that we had cassettes maybe 10 years longer than we really needed them, because CDs were already developed and made. People were using them in certain niche industries, but there were so many cassettes sitting out there. The people who make money off of cassette tapes wanted to get them all out there, get the inventory out. So they just didn't give us the technology until, just like burning a CD. Obviously, if you buy a CD with music on it, there's obviously a way to burn music on it. Remember, they didn't have CD burners in the beginning. Like you could, no, y'all can't do that. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, when they figured out, computers and all that, they thought, okay, now you can burn a CD. And then you couldn't burn a DVD. Then all of a sudden, I can see now you can burn DVDs. It's like they give it to you, they stretch it out as much as possible, and then give you the next. Instead of innovation driving the new things, it's really business. It's really money.
And I kind of think the same thing with, let me pick like tires, car tires. I'm surprised that there is not a material that they have created that they can put on your car where the tires last for
longer than
20 years. As long as the car is running, the tires are
there are hoses that do that on your car made out of rubber.
I mean, so it goes back to your point. Is there that situation where they don't want this innovation?
Right. And guess what tires are made out of? Petroleum.
Well, so again, right? There's oil is big business.
He's figured it out. He's got the whole thing.
That's just one example.
Well, oil is big business. Yeah, that's there's. I'm sure folks can see it in a number of ways play out. But you saw that the Tesla company, the one that's making the electric car, the high-end electric car, they paid back their loan, faster than they had anticipated. So they actually got like $1 billion. They were one of the ways they would pay it back. It was like a $400 and something million loan that they have received from us, the taxpayers, and they were able to pay it back. And one of the ways they did that is because they got like $1 billion in funding. They were able to raise like $1 billion. And now we have these cars that are driving themselves.
The Google car.
So they're now. We're moving into that Jetson, continually moving into that Jetson phase. That I don't think it can be stopped, but it has been halted in many ways. It's been slowed down, no doubt about it. But again, until they figure out how to make the money. So, with the solar panel cars, we had Monty and I had the idea of from a while ago of having those stations that you now see, in the even in Tampa parking garage. I saw downtown Tampa garage.
We can park there, get your.
So you can have a little station right there that's already set up to. Had that idea too, but it good thing we didn't invest in it because it didn't materialize. Just yet. So
hopefully in 20 years we'll be.
If anybody out there wants to invest in it, let me know. How at me, Sean D at cctrio.com. You can email me about that. Talk some business. You can email me. But looking at the time here, but. There's a lot of things that are, I think, going back to what got us on here is talking about the weather. I think there's a number of things, and even with the increased hurricanes and folks just being prepared. So wherever you are living, just being prepared for the situation where you are, knowing what knowing what you should know, at least to limit the damage that you'll sustain. But some of it you just won't know until that happens, and you just won't be able to guard against. The tornado tears up, rips up your house. You can't guard against. No matter how many ties you put down on the house, it ain't gonna matter.
I think half the houses need to be underground. I mean, you can, like half the total house to do underground. So if the whole top goes off, they still have a house underneath it. Maybe the top
but
is.
you can't do that in Florida. You'd be
but the same.
You'd be in the sea.
You'd be swimming.
You'd be
swimming. Not swimming with fishes for real.
For reals.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just in places like that. Especially schools.
So the how to think. So thinking about it differently. Right?
Yeah, think about you live in Tornado Alley. So when they hear the sirens, and this really freaked me out. Someone died. They ran into the 7-Eleven cooler. I thought that's where you're supposed to go. Say like the 7-Eleven. I've heard other things. They went to a convenience store and get into the freezer. Not this one. took them out too. I was like, my God.
Wow.
So I heard someone. Their story was they went. The bathroom so the other part is going to a bathroom and kind of get in the tub or whatever, and so it just so happens that what the bathroom that they were going to go to, they decided not to, and that was the bathroom that got ripped up out of the house. So,
oh my God!
So they said, and the other bathroom was okay. So whatever bathroom they chose was the right decision. So it wasn't necessarily not going to the bathroom, but then choosing which one do you go to, and again, those things you can't figure that out. You can't plan that out. So that was the
impression. And a lot of these places do not come with storm shelters.
Right. They said it was very expensive. I heard this is a commentator said this. So I'm not saying that people in Oklahoma said it, but a commentator said that storm shelters add obviously cost to the house. Therefore, people just forego them if they can. Why do they have a choice? I mean,
if you're in tornado alley,
because now the FEMA has to go. All the federal aid needs to go there. All the people have to pay for this now. All that aid isn't free money; it's their money too. They put into FEMA, but so does the rest of the country. Yeah. And at least you want to try to protect yourself in some way.
Now, the other interesting thing I'll say before we leave this topic is from the political aspect. So I don't know if you heard as far as the, back when we talked about the Sandy disaster up in up on the East Coast. So when the aid package they were trying to decide on the aid package. There was a lot of senators, there was a lot of folks who were saying, we're not voting for that.
Right. Right.
A couple of them were from Oklahoma. So now Oklahoma is on the block saying, we need money over here. And those same senators, I believe it was senators that were against getting aid, giving aid for the Sandy hurricane situation, is now in need. And now they're on there saying, we need it, give it to us, we deserve it, so on and so forth. So So again, those politics are interesting. That it's until it impacts what you're doing and how you're living, that nothing happens, right? So it's easy to stand against it when you're not in it. So it's not about the position. It's not about just where. It's not about the situation. It's about the politics of it, right? So,
and speaking of politics and disasters, I just saw this morning on the way here about the bridge collapsing in Washington State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, didn't we talk about this? 4 or 5 years ago that we get this money and we fixed the bridge in Minnesota, Minneapolis crashed.
Well, careful now. Now that bridge that collapsed, they said they're now saying that it may be human error in the sense that they think a truck driver.
Yeah.
Crash into it now.
That's fine. So,
if it's weak enough for
I'm about to say, I mean, what are you telling me? If a truck can hit it and knock it down, that's a problem.
Knock a whole section out. Yeah. I hear you. I understand.
I understand that he might have hit. I understand that. That's not.
But there was human error involved in that, and they're saying that wasn't one of the bridges on the list either of the defective.
Which is another problem.
But I mean, I hate to bring up the whole 9/11 thing, but you had those planes going into those big buildings, and you would have thought that it would not have been able to bring down both of those buildings based on how and where those planes hit. But it goes back to the structure. If you hit a certain point in that structure, you compromise the entire structure. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that some of that is in play here.
I still want to see the video or somebody do a rendering of how a truck on a bridge hits a bridge and knock it down. You drive on the bridge and you go to sleep, so you hit the side. How do you knock the bridge down? You should go over the side or something. So I want to see that. Cause I can see if it's in a barge or a boat hit underneath. That makes more sense because now you're knocking out the support. That's what happened with the Skyway. Barge hit the Skyway with the supports and it came down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to venture to say if I hit Main Man in the right spot, I'm going to bring him down.
Hey, everybody.
But you say it's that point, right?
If I find that right point, he coming down.
Martial artists throughout centuries work on that.
Kids find that right spot on a routine basis for adults.
Hit him in the throat somewhere.
Yes, especially when I'm trying to get some fried chicken.
Don't mess with my fried chicken.
See, if I was Tiger Woods, I would actually do a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial. Since everyone keeps talking about chicken, I'm going to check this stuff out.
Oh my God!
Well, even Kentucky Fried Chicken ain't fried chicken no more. They KFC. They just KFC.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Because they don't want to say fried.
Because that has a bad connotation, man. So.
They changed the name?
Yeah, it's just KFC. So they don't call it Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
So it's more of the healthy. They have the rotisserie. They have the. Now they have the boneless chicken.
Yeah, I ate the bones.
Wow. Interesting.
Oh my goodness! What else is going on, guys? Any other interesting tidbits?
Well, I mean, it's. I know we're talking about what's happening. It's things. It's a busy Memorial Day weekend, but there's a bunch of events that are going on. Happening around, if you're in the Tampa area, even St. Pete, St. Pete side, Tampa Bay side, you got the 19th annual Keep Manatee Beautiful Golf Tournament is actually happening today, so you're probably gonna miss that. That's 1 to 5. You got the A Night with the Stars event happening this evening with the American Legion. That's another event. You can go on to these events that are happening all over the place. But
I didn't get my invite to that.
There you go. There's the answer right there. So you got the different events here. So you got Scholarship Awards Gala happening on Saturday from 6 to 11 p.m. at the Wyndham West Shore in Tampa. So that's the City of Tampa Black History Committee is putting that together. And again, that's from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday. Tickets are $75. You got the 6th annual free concert on Memorial Weekend. And this is going to be at the Sandbar and P Channel. This is over in St. Pete on Sunday from 1 to 4:30. So they got a little blues band action for you. 6th annual Memorial Weekend Comedy Fest is on Sunday at the James L. Knight Center. But that's happening if you want to get down there for our folks over in Miami. My actually wife just got back from Miami. The Family Fun Carnival Day on Monday, so there you go, at the Glazers Children Museum in Tampa, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So the Family Fun Carnival Day, so that seems like an opportunity. And for you business folks, the Minority Women Contractors Connect with Skanska is on May 28th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Midtown, the St. Pete College Midtown campus on 22nd Street. So for you business folks out there, definitely get out there and get those contracts. So there's a few of the events that are happening that are coming up, and also one I can't forget as well is the poetry. There's a poetry competition with Heard 'em Say poetry event that's coming up this, I believe it's this Friday, May 31st. The Rookies versus Legends Poetry Slam, the 2013 Heard 'em Say Slam Team versus the 2013 Sacred Sound Slam Team, and that's going to be right at USF, University of South Florida. Tickets $10 for students, $20 for adults, and that's going to be again May 31st from 7. Doors open at 7 p.m. Show starts at 7:30 p.m. Cool. So just a few events that are happening around town.
Man, that's a lot, man.
There's a lot going, man. It's a lot going. It's a busy time of the year.
What you got going on this weekend?
I got class all day tomorrow.
Man, it's like you don't know the rest of the week, huh?
8 to 5, yeah. But it's actually, well, then shout out to the wife. Shout out to my lovely wife. It's 16-year wedding anniversary this weekend as well.
Wow,
so God bless her.
Celebrate. I hear you. I see
years with you.
Actually, well, we've been together 21 years.
Lord bless her.
Good Lord, y'all start when you were 5? I know she's Asian. Did y'all do that prepared marriage kind of thing? Did y'all meet 4? And,
nice.
And it was like, hey, y'all together. As soon as y'all turn 18, it's over.
Wow.
21 years?
21 years.
Are you serious?
Yep, 16 years married.
Wow.
Yep.
We need to get her on the phone, see how she did it. How did she survive? We can barely survive a couple of years with her.
The way she did it, she usually ignores me most of the time. So.
She's in charge, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all know. As married folks will tell you.
Yeah.
Anyone who's telling the truth will tell you. Any man who's telling the truth will tell you.
She's something. She running this thing.
but yeah, so that's
Dr. Dickerson.
And maybe hearing Doc G getting out, maybe I'll try to get out golf and jump on his weekend here.
Yeah, I'm going to go out there and practice with that thing. I really have to pull it up for you guys. It's actually really kind of neat.
What is it?
It's called Swing Bite, and you put it on your club, and it shows you where your swings are going, where your face is open, closed, your speed, the things you need to know to be a scratch golfer like Dr. G and Sean D.
Not Sean D. Although it's getting better, it is definitely a project in
Swing Bite and
progress.
It's a little cheaper than going to one of those places, and it just it helps me because but one of the things about what I practice. I'm trying not to look at the ball, right? Because you're practicing, you need to keep your eye on the ball. So I hit it. I make a good solid hit. Then I got to try to find it myself.
Where to go?
Yeah, I'm like, where to go? Now sometimes that's a good thing, right? I hit it so far that I have time enough to catch it, and I see it fall down. Other times I literally have no idea where the ball went. And I'm like, I don't see no one laying down anywhere. So right? Yeah, I still have
Wow.
It's like that. Stay away from
Well, I still got a wicked slice. So
way.
you can even see here. See, it says open club. So that's my club face. It says right
wow.
there. So it's telling. So I find you can see where I got it right. I got it closed. See right here. And then they'll actually show you the shape. Like I can look up the shape. Is the hook? What was it?
Wow.
So this helps me.
See, tools. There's always tools out there.
Oh yeah.
Always tools out there. There's something else to spend money on.
It actually shows I can spin around.
Oh wow! Look at that.
And see, I can actually play it. See that?
Wow.
And it shows a little bit of that.
Wow.
Look at him.
I got to come for you guys, man. Y'all taking everybody's money and everything.
Bring it
I just
on.
want to break even out there.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I don't know how much time we have left, but if we have time to hit this story, which is absolutely amazing, and I think every lazy high school student need to hear this story. I don't know if you saw this story. It's a girl by the name of Chelisa Fierce, homeless teen named valedictorian at her high school graduation.
I did see that. I didn't read the whole article, but so how did she?
Let's see. When high schooler Chelsea, Fierce had to study for exams at night, she would read her books using the light from her cell phone because it was dark in her homeless shelter. She was homeless for most of her high school career, and sometimes her family even slept in her mother's car. But that did not stop her from graduating at the top of her high school class, achieving a final grade point average of 4.466. And she was named valedictorian of Charles Drew High School in Riverdale, Florida. That's the Atlanta area. And she, listen to this.
Riverdale, Florida, the Atlanta
area.
Riverdale, Georgia.
Georgia.
Riverdale, Georgia. I just told myself to keep working because the future will not be like this anymore. You're worried about your home life and then worried about school, worried about being a little hungry sometimes. You go hungry sometimes. You just have to deal with it. Wow. That's amazing.
But and I think that's the a lot of us here do mentoring and different capacities all over the place. So but that's one of the things you talk about with the kids is that your circumstances today won't necessarily be always right. So but you still got to work. You still got to put in the time, put in the effort. Because it doesn't. There are hard luck stories everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing about it. But what it is how do you persevere through that, right? Because that's what's going to make the difference between you and the next person, right? Because everyone's got something going on in their lives, to their lives, through their lives. But the ones that you really, you continually hear about and respect and see that have the success are the ones who persevere through.
Yeah. And
that's the piece that's going to get you through. So that's a prime example of someone telling their story of how they persevered through the situation, because it could have been easy to quit at any point.
She had a good reason.
Could have quit at any point, but did not.
I don't have any lights. I can't read. I can't study. Sorry, I'm going to bed. What does she do? Grab her cell phone and she's figuring it out.
Find a way to make it happen.
Absolutely.
But I was going to be devil's advocate a little bit. I'm thinking, how you got a cell phone?
Well, you still make cell phone costs less than
I guess you get Metro, but nevertheless, to be valedictorian. And I want to hear though what scholarship she gets, because obviously getting valedictorian.
So 4.4.
She's already accepted
a full ride somewhere
to Spelman, going to Spelman in the fall.
Yep.
Oh, staying home, staying close to family. Because my niece goes to Spelman. I mean, my cousin's daughter. Yeah. So I want to.
Well, more power to her. So hopefully that inspires more young folks and older folks to
listen to this. Let's see. On top of her outstanding GPA, Chelsea will be ahead of the curve when she enters Spelman in the fall, because for the last 2 years of high school, she tested high enough to take all college courses. Because of her hard work, she will be enrolled as a college junior.
Wow.
Putting us to shame.
I'm about to say. And you talking about a PhD. You ain't doing nothing.
She'll be done with hers by the time
she's going to be like Doogie Howser, man. She's going to be like, 20. And
wow. But that's part of that dual enrollment. I know they're pushing it heavy in Florida too. Is the dual enrollment aspect, because you can get through taking those courses where it's free.
Yeah, where it's free.
So you can, costing in the college costing less. Which that's one of the big things right now is education being so expensive. So that it deters folks from being able to traverse that route of going to school, going to college in the traditional form.
And you would think education is a key to society. Education is what holds us, to meet this democracy. The fact that we have this, and it seems like we don't. We've monetized that. Just like we talked about.
It's a business.
There should be no American that can't go to college and it should be just part of being an American. I mean, that should be just a
That's what I'm studying right now, so I'm going to take it down. We're going to save that for another show.
I mean, I know schools like money to do research. That's fine. If you build a product, like in University of Florida, they built Gatorade, and you get the money. That's fine. If you get donations and you have students that want to go into a certain program that costs more or whatever to support that program because it's technology or I'm fine with that. But just general getting I would say a general degree, a business degree, or nursing, whatever, just some general baseline degrees. It just shouldn't cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. Everyone should be able to do that.
Right.
Just you may not be in that super program, or you may not. I understand there's got to be a balance because then you just have people just showing up to college because that's where all their friends are, and
they're not there to achieve anything, right? Yep. But that's a great story, though. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
A lot of us have the opportunity to talk to young kids. This should be a story that's a part of our talk. And, this young lady can, persevere.
Yeah, what's your problem?
Yeah, exactly.
What's your excuse?
What's your excuse?
You got an Xbox, man. This girl was reading by a phone light.
Yep, exactly.
Didn't have a lamp.
I know. So Sean, do you want to give them our info one more time before we get out of here?
Absolutely. So, again, you can always catch us on cctrio.com, Facebook, iTunes, Twitter. You can search us by searching the CC Trio, and YouTube as well. Can't forget YouTube. So we got our main man, Michael Dove, holding us down on the videos aspect, so you can see what our crazy environment looks like sometimes with they moving further and further into this technology era. But definitely check us out. And like main man mentioned, if you got a story out there you want us to hit, let us know. As well as feel free to leave comments for us. Tell us how good looking I am. By all means, feel free to do that as well. And we like to stay connected with you. So you hit us on Twitter, we'll hit you right back.
All right, and happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife.
Thank you.
And enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day
of golf and barbecue,
and family
fried
time,
chicken.
It gotta have watermelon.
I actually had fried
who don't
chicken.
have watermelon?
Oh, yes. That way you're gonna go to the watermelon.
Yeah, who
if
don't
he had
have
said watermelon, it might have been a riot. Then we know where he was going. Fried chicken, I don't know.
When you get a good watermelon, there's nothing wrong with that.
Just in honor of this story, I may, on my way home, go by KFC and get some
I had Popeyes last night. We enjoyed, the whole family enjoyed hot chicken, and it was delicious. So if Sergio's cooking chicken, I want to know where he's at, so I can go by and get me some.
So you're not gonna be like Sean D. To stay away from
Sean D don't do that anymore. I said that was before. They were ties before.
Yeah, I used to think that
Sean D cool with what he do.
I one of the things I listen to a broad range of music, but I listen to hip hop as well. I mean, I grew up in that genre. Now I listen to old school, but I listen to some new stuff. It's kind of hard, unfortunately, saying things, But I remember as I'm driving to work, I'll turn it down. Even if it's Kool Moe Dee or something, they don't curse or anything, but. Yeah, they see the black guy coming up in the suit, jamming to, LL Cool J, let me turn it down or let me put it on the smooth jazz. And I realized, I thought, and this is before hip hop became so mainstream that everybody, is kind of, you have the Justin Timberlake's of the world, they can go either way. But I remember doing the same thing, and then eventually get to the point like, they're going to judge me for listening to hip hop. I am an African American, and a lot of us listen to some form of hip hop or jazz, most likely. So it is what it is. I'll go ahead and accept that stereotype and move forward.
Exactly.
So enjoy your chicken during this Memorial
chicken
Day
and hip hop.
weekend. Absolutely. All right, guys.
All right. So we'll catch you on next time.
Yep, we're out.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed another edutaining episode of Community Conversations with the Trio. To keep the conversation going, stay connected with us by visiting cctrio.com and following us on Facebook, Twitter, and iTunes by searching The CC Trio. Community Conversations with the Trio. Dr. G, Sean D, and main man Michael Dove.